Pinky and the Brain. Executive producer Steven Spielberg meets producer Peter Hastings, where the obsession and the contrast between intelligence and just plain stupid begins. Basically, at its core, no one cares about Pinky and the Brain. It was all a ruse to get Spielberg and Peter Hastings plotting their future pair of films, AI being the first of the series made in 2001, and Country Bears, the sequel to AI, came out 1 year later in 2002, respectively. The issue is Spielberg and Hastings made a critical well-known Hollywood no-no. They forgot to tell everyone that these films were connected in all the bus ads. Instead, they gossiped about it, and no one believed them. But when studying the cast, it becomes easy to spot that these two films were made to be a pair. In Spielberg's AI, aka Artificial Intelligence, Haley Joel Osment plays a hauntingly freaky robot child, David. In the sequel, Country Bears, Osment is the main character once again, this time playing his alter ego, Barry Barrington. Again, remember, he's a year older, so this makes sense. This is because, as we all know in Spielberg's AI, Teddy, David's stuffed toy robot bear, is the only family David ever knows. So that's why, in the sequel Country Bears, Peter Hastings set out to capitalize on that key aspect. See, in the end of AI, David, recently thawed from ice, encounters aliens in the distant future. He makes a wish, begging to see his mother once again, which they grant. But what everyone doesn't realize is that there's a deleted scene where David instead insists that his parents were horrible people, and would rather live a life as a bear that plays country music with his pal, Teddy. And that's how we ended up with the even better film, Country Bears. Minutes into the film, you realize that aliens are like genies, their wishes are always ironic, placing Barry in an adopted family just like David's. Whereas in AI, David is treated as an unwanted regretful decision, Barry is praised while their human child, every mischievous teen of the era, was constantly berated. Stephen Root replaces Jude Law as Gigolo Joe's Barry incarnation, Zeb Zuber. Rather than laying the pipe down in futuristic metropolitan rave towns, Zeb Zuber owes money to Queen Latifah and in order to pay it back, must win a battle of the bands at her local bar. But what about the famous AI phone call, where David in the unrated version picks up the phone and famously says, "Pick up the fucking phone, Monica." Peter Hastings felt instead that his film needed to separate itself from such barbarity, and instead focused on the whimsy of more cowbell, adding Christopher Walken whenever the pace began to feel stale. Christopher Walken clearly being the Country Bears' equivalent of Robin Williams' Dr. No. In this day and age, nothing costs more than information. No need to elaborate on that. Fun fact. Every Country Bears concert was held in a refreshingly rehabilitated version of AI's Flesh Bear, where robots were destroyed at the pleasure of this sick guy. I'm sure Osment was glad to be plucking country strings, instead of worrying about the robot flesh being plucked off him. But what happened to this sick guy, you might ask? How is there a sequel without such a pivotal character? Well, fear no more, because the aliens transformed him into Diedrich Bader. Legend has it that he won the audition with his masterclass of a line, "I'll do 2 Country Bears at the same time, man." So next time you find yourself in a glum mood after the tearjerker that is AI, make sure to stop by your local Blockbuster and ask for the sequel, Country Bears. Tell them I sent you for the pick-me-up. They'll know what it means. This is CGLord, and that's the end of this edition of What's That Sequel?